What's up guys, Fpv here, and today we're going to be continuing the FlosStyle build and finishing it off. So just real quick, I did off camera just some pretty simple things. I went ahead and I mounted the micro Fox Ear Predator onto here, and pretty much what you just do is you just screw it on. I mean, it's not that big deal, and that's how it is on. And then another little thing I did too, I talked about this in the first video, is I put the XT60 in the front so it'll come up through the top plate. And I did add some shrink wrap, so if it is hitting that carbon fiber, it will have some extra protection. So what we're going to do is hook up the FPV camera and wire that up to the board. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to plug in this header into the board. And we're going to do that real quick. Oops, that shouldn't have happened. It's not tight enough, I guess. Makes it easier for me to push it in. There. So those are in. And this plug you're going to leave on, this is actually so you can go ahead and hook up the little joystick that comes with the camera. So then you can go ahead and change the OSD settings. You also can change the OSD settings too on the flight controller, but I'm not going to bother with it because I usually don't change it. But pretty much what you would do is it comes with an extra blue wire on the end of the harness, kind of like this, and it's plugged into this header. And then you just go ahead and solder it to one of these pins, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Because I don't really see a point of having that hooked up because you can't even take the OSD stuff off it anyway. You still need to plug in something to shut off all the OSD stuff and use the Betaflight OSD. So we got that wired up. So pretty much just talking about the wires. This is going to be the positive wire. This is the video. This is the negative wire. And then this is the harness. So when I use the harness, I usually just tuck it in because you don't need it right now. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to route these wires. And now since my negative wire is too short, I actually need to, because I cut it too short, I need to actually solder another piece of wire to it. So then I can go ahead and what to call it? Go ahead and extend it so you can reach the side of the board. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a cable that I had from another harness. Yeah, this is the one. Cut that, and then just strip this wire. I did that off air, but stripping that off. And move this out of the way. Let's go ahead and pre-tin it. Yeah, do this one too, that's already done. Okay. Get my solder out. I hate when that happens. Alright, so now we're in business. Let's clean this off. That's filthy. Alright. We're just going to solder it up. Get some solder to it. Get my pliers out. And there we go. They're joined. And you put a little shrink wrap on that before it. So it doesn't short nothing out. Just a little tiny piece. And there we go. Extend to the wire. Tug on a little bit to make sure it's tight. And I would use my thing. I might just use this for now. You can use your soldering iron to an extent to shrink wrap. Takes a little longer, but definitely helps with the noise, though. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, my battery died, so I had some technical difficulties. But pretty much I routed the wires back here and tin these up. I tinned the one pad I need, and I'm going to be connecting this camera, since it can accept, let's see here, yeah, that's fine. It can connect to battery voltage, but we're not going to do that. We're actually going to use the 5-volt out on the tramp. So I'm going to actually leave these two wires here alone, and we're just going to pretty much connect this one wire to that pad right there. And if you want a detailed explanation of all the pads and what they are, I do have a video on that, and I'll leave that up in the video description so you guys can check that out after the video. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pliers out and just connect that one little yellow wire, which is the video in. So this is from the camera to that. It's right there in a little tug test. And it's good. So, got that done. We're going to leave those wires alone for now. And then the next thing we're going to go ahead and do, while I have this out, now I'm going to be actually connecting this to the top plate. I figured that was the best way I can do it. So I'm kind of just going to fit it. Kind of do a little rough fit, then I'm probably going to use, probably do it about right there. It does fit between the standoffs. Yep, no problem. So what I'm going to do is get a zip tie, and then zip tie this on, and probably put some double-sided tape as well on it as well. So let me go ahead and get my double-sided tape out. I'm just going to take the bottom and just put some there. Perfect. And the double-sided tape I like to use is this like permanent one, so it doesn't really it comes off, but it's hard for it to come off, so you don't have to worry about popping off when you crash and having a mess on your hands. I think it's like the red one. You can also use Velcro too. I just don't like Velcro. Okay. So that's on there. Make sure we're going the right way. That's fine. Get a zip tie and put that around it. So yeah. Sorry, you didn't really see much because I was staring at it. I'm going to go ahead and put a zip tie around it. None of these are for battery straps. Really don't want to do that. So I do want to use that for battery straps. Well, I guess we'll just have to share it with the battery strap, because I have no other way to put it. And get that on there. Sorry, you're not even seeing it when you do it. Might actually need to use a bigger battery strap. I mean, a bigger zip tie. Nope, I got it. That's not going anywhere. Hopefully I can get a zip better strap in there, but we'll see. We'll kind of push it down as much as we can. Alright, so that's that. So I got that on there. It's not pretty, but it's decent. And then what we'll go ahead and do, kind of just test fit it really quick. See how it's going to do. That's going to be fine. Alright, so I'm going to get my harness for this guy here. This is the harness we'll use. It comes with a bunch of different harnesses. It comes with like 3 different harnesses, but this is the one I'm going to settle on. Because it comes with a ground, and then it comes with all the good little stuff. Should be a little diagram. I'm trying to see if I have a little diagram to show you the pinout, but I don't see if it has one. It does have one on the actual board itself. If you see, it has a pinout right there. See this one, this top part is for the transponder. So if you go to races or whatever, you can have just the race leader or whoever set your VTX for you. Make sure everybody's on the right channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this sucker hooked up. So what I'm going to do is plug that in there. Push that in there. It's clipped in there. So we know for a fact these two positive grounds. So we're going to hook those up first. And let's see how much wire do we need cut off. Pretty much we're going to be connecting all these wires to about right there. So we can cut off quite a bit, a little bit. So we'll do that right now. There we go. These wires suck. It's like 10 wires. I mean, I have silicone wire, but they're like really stranded. Alright, I'm just going to strip all these wires up. I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off real quick. Be right back. I'm just going to strip these wires, solder, pre-tin them, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got all tinned up. So this is going to be the plan, and I'm going to kind of show you guys a little bit what I'm doing. This right here, this pin right here is the video out. This is the TX2 pins. This is where a smart audio or the tramp telemetry wire will go to. It's right there. So we're going to hook up those 2 wires, and then we're going to be left with the ground, and then a 5-volt for the camera, and then also I'm going to be connecting it directly to the battery leads. I know a lot of people have asked me, why am I connecting to the battery leads instead of using the pinouts on the board? First of all, you want to go ahead and make sure that the ground that you're using is the same ground on your video transmitter as your camera. Because if you don't, you might have a ground loop and it'll cause a lot of static in your FPV feed. So my recommendation is to make sure that you're always connecting your ground from your video transmitter and also your ground to your camera on the same exact pad. Either that be on the battery leads or on the same pad on a flight controller if you're using an all-in-one. But then after that, I'm also going to be connecting, what is it? I think I already said it. The power leads to the, I guess the main input leads to the VTX to the power leads. So let's go ahead and get started and start soldering things up. So I'm going to clean off my tip of my soldering iron. And go ahead and grab my yellow wire. Oh, and another thing too is the Tramp has audio, an audio wire to a dedicated one. I removed that since I don't have a microphone. There's no point. Let me hook that up. So we're going to connect that one to right here. Make sure it's straight. And touch the pod. There you go. Then we're going to go ahead and do the audio wire, which is the white wire. Same thing. And that's done. So now all we have left is the 5-volt out, which is this orange wire. And your wire might be different, so make sure you're picking the right wires, because this thing has like multiple different harnesses it comes with. And it could be a different color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect that to that, but I need to go ahead and get myself some shrink wrap first before I do that. Let's make sure that shrink wrap actually fits over these wires. And it does. So we can go ahead and cut that. My bench is getting really messy, and it's driving me nuts. I can't even find my razor blade. Where did it go? Oh, I guess we'll just use these. So, it's good enough. Another good tip too is when you're building your quad, these screws and bolts and stuff can get picked up by your motors. So before you put up, anything on, make sure there's no bolts stuck to your magnets on your motors. Oh, it's a random thought that came in my head. But go ahead and get this orange wire. Put that down there. And I need my little handy dandy. See if I can zoom out a little bit for you guys. There you go. That might be a little better. Being so close to the flight controller. Okay, lower it down. Perfect. A little closer. That actually works better. And I'm going to soldering iron. And I'm just going to connect these up together. No, that's not what I'm doing that way. No, it's the wrong wire. Dumbass. We're doing this wire. There we go. And not to that. Not to the black one. To the red. There we go. Oh, did I put it on the wrong sleeve? No, it's on there. Alright, so that's connected up. Put that back. It's tight. Always can check it. Holding it down. Making sure it's okay. And then grabbing the slide over. And then grabbing my soldering iron. And you don't want to touch it, you just kind of want to put it in the groove where it's at. And then I just kind of smush it, make sure it's nice and tight. Alright, so that's hooked up, ready to go. Now we can go ahead and start wiring up everything else. So I'm going to do the grounds first, since I know those are going to be connected to the same pad. And I'm also putting a capacitor on this as well. So we're going to take this one. Done. And get that one kind of where I want it. Sorry, you guys can't even see. And Done. That's on there. And then the positive wire onto the other pad. And that's done. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this up. I'm going to kind of just twist the board up. I'm going to kind of zoom in and out a little more. There we go. Better. That's too much twist. And there we go. So that's all wired up. We got the video transmitter wired up. We have the camera wired up. Only thing really left now is the receiver, and then we have the capacitor as well. So I'm going to get the capacitor ready first, since we're already back there. Move that out of the way. And I'm just going to grab some, I should grab some thicker wire than this stuff. Maybe not. No, yeah, let's use some thicker wire, since it is using battery voltage. Kind of thicker wire can we use? I'll just use motor wire. 2 black wires. There you go. 2 black wires. Just make sure you don't mix them up. So I'm going to strip these ends up. Actually, we should see how long we need to make it. Because I was thinking about putting it up in the front. Because I don't think this capacitor will reach. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to use 1000 UF. I'm going to use a smaller capacitor. And we're just going to go ahead and see. Because, you know, this Daleng 4-in-1 is supposed to have really good sound resistance anyway. Noise resistance. So, let's test it out. Because it did come with one, but I used it on my other build. I think I already talked about that. But, yeah, I think I just broke this one. Damn it. No, actually I didn't. I did not break it. I thought because it looked weird. Okay. So let's get that off and out. So we're going to be using, I mean, bigger the better, but if you can't fit it in your build, then it's better than nothing. But we're going to be using, let's see, a 330 UF capacitor, 25 volt capacitor. So let's go ahead and kind of see how it's going to do. And you always make sure that the positive, see the negative side, using the negative. If you reverse it, it will explode. Or it could be very well explode. So I'm going to go ahead and shorten these wires up. Probably to about right there. It's probably good. Yeah. That's perfect. Let me put that to the side. Kind of show you how I do this. Pretty easy, just put it like that. Get my solder. And then I just put a glob of solder on there. Like that. Maybe not that much. That's too much. That's perfect. Then make sure we line it up right. Let me grab my needles pliers to hold it in. And we're kind of just going to have it come off the back like that. I actually need to make this so it's wider. Just a hair. So I'm going to tack that on this side. Give it a second to let it dry. It's on there. And then I'm going to flip it around and do the other side. think that's on there. Done. Push this down. Hopefully it's not in the way of the other one. Let's make sure. Let's see. No, we should be good. Good. So that's all done. Next part. Now I printed these out with my 3D printer. This is an SMA mount, so I can mount this on there. And then I have these little guys. Well, just need two of them really. Made an extra one, just in case one didn't print out right. But these are for the Immortal. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first. Put this back here on there. Which say is nicer? Push that on there. And I'm sorry about how long this video is. I just wanted to get done. The other video was like 25 minutes long. This one's probably going to be 45 minutes long. Who knows? But let's go ahead and put this one on there. And these are what this is what's going to hold the Immortal mount like that. Hopefully it holds it right. Okay. If I have to do this, bend it underneath. It's fine. And then we have this one. And this goes in pretty simple. Kind of just undo that. And this has like a little teeth thing. And it should just shove in there. Well, I guess that doesn't fit in there with that ring. Well, it might fit in there with the ring, but I don't think you need it. On these anyway. Oh, sorry, I'm off the camera. And we're just screwing it in there. And then I'm going to tighten it with a pair of pliers. The good thing about TP is it's really hard to rip. When you can rip it, but it's really resilient since it's so flexible. I think that's tight enough. That's tight. Put that to the side. And that part's done. So let's go ahead and get our video transmitter set up. So give me a second, let me get this all, put the wires on this, and then we'll get to that right now. Alright guys, we're back, and I got the micro or nano receiver from Crossfire all wired up. So kind of just going over this again. The black wire is ground, red wire is, positive, and then we have the two transmit and receive. And when we wire this up, this white one is going to go to a receive pin, and then this one's going to go to a transmit pin. So let's go ahead and wire this thing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much grab all the spots I'm going to hook up my stuff to. And let's see here, we have 5 volt and ground. Alright, so 5 volt ground, ground, and then 5 volt. It's right there. So we're going to wire it right to those two pads. So I'm going to pretend those first, and then I know in my head that I'm using those. Okay. And then I'm going to be using TX3 and RX3. There we go. So those are that. And then put my wires through. And I'm pretty much going to mount this back here. So I'm just going to grab my positive. Well, we'll probably need to cut this first, don't we? Let's see. I don't like going under. So I need my yellow wire and the white wire. Let's take those out, because those are going to have to go on the other side. Twist those together. So I'm going to go underneath the flight controller again. This makes it look a little cleaner. And then we're going to pretty much like mount that right there-ish. So we're just going to take our wires, put that out of my way, and take that, cut it about right there. Alright, so let me go ahead and strip those up. Tin those up. I hate the solder. Solder's so filthy. This is like the silver solder I had. It's not even sticking. Hold on a second here. This thing is so filthy. Alright, so those are soldered. Let's grab these and hook them up. So I know for a fact ground is right there. If I can get it on there. Positive 5 volts. And that's that. So next part, we go ahead and route this underneath. Try to twist it a little more together so it's more firm. This build's getting very wiry, which I don't like. I like perfectly clean builds where there's like no wires. Grab that one of those pliers. Got it. Okay, let's pull that out. Remember, I'm going to mount this thing back up right there. I hate the fact that this thing goes underneath. Oh, I hate that. I'm going to have to fix that. Give me a second here. That was driving me nuts. Let's pull it all out. Alrighty. So those are our wires right there. Twist those off. like that. So I'm going to go ahead and tin those wires up. And then we're done. We're almost done. Alright. Clean the solder iron real good. Okay. So my white wire, this is considered transmit. So you're going to connect that to a receive pin. This is how it works. And my receive pin is that one right there. Same thing for the yellow wire. And that's going to go to the TX pin. And that's it. So let's go ahead and start putting everything together. Soldering iron can go off for right now. And we can start putting this build all together. So let me go ahead and zoom out. Alright. So first things first, I'm just going to tuck some wires together. Specifically these ones in the front because I can't stand them sticking out like that. I'll grab my needles pliers. Take those and just kind of put them underneath without hurting them. Could have probably got a little shorter harness. Okay. I'm going to twist these wires up again. Which way does it go? That way. Perfect. Go ahead and get some double-sided tape. Get a new piece. Just got another piece of double-sided tape. Shouldn't have to put a zip tie on. It's so damn light. Shouldn't need to, but we'll see how it goes. Trying to get this tape top part off of it. Stick that on the bottom. Let's stick it. It's pretty secure. Okay, we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to route this in there. These just kind of go in there like that. They already came off, so I'm going to have to put zip ties on it. That goes in there like that. Same thing for this one. Push them as much as you can. It wants to be like that, but we'll pin it down. I think so. Good enough for now. I'll probably play with it later. See if I can go right down like that. That'd be perfect. And then push this back down like that. Put a zip tie on it. Definitely needs a zip tie. How are we gonna do this? Like that. Get that done there. And we got it. We got it. Move this over. And that's secured. Alright. Let's go ahead and twist this together. Probably should have put a zip tie around that too, huh? Yeah, might as well. We might as well so it doesn't get pulled off. There you go. There we go. And then we have to put those standoffs that go on top of the things here. Make sure these are tight. This thing is looking so freaking sick. It's a little more involved though, getting it all together. Okay, so that's that. We still have to put this back part on too. Let's get that in there. Go the wrong way. Hold on a second. Get that in there, come on. There we go. Should slide in to the front. I think so. What's going on here? Why is it so tight? There we go. It's on there. It's because this thing's touching it. Let me fix that. Thing slid back. Alrighty. Let's get our screws and put them in. This is really tight for that stinking SMA mount. It's like barely long enough. There we go. Where's my screwdriver? Just so I can lock it in there. Oh, actually I need to put my Gopro Mount on top too, don't I? Alright, so let's do the back. That's that one. That's that one. And we got that in there. Because that's good enough for how it is. I'm trying to push this back a little more so it's like even at least. But that's how it's going to have to fit. I'm not going to fight with it. Oh, that's not even a screw hole. Alrighty, so it's coming together. And what props I'm going to use on this is going to be the 50-45 Cyclones, so you guys are aware. So I probably won't show the props on it until the Maiden flight. I got those in there. Yep, I'm going to put the mount on. This is a GoPro mount I made. Should fit. I think it fits like that. Yep. Where's the rest of my bolts? Get that in there. It's a two-part GoPro mount, so it has like its own protector. Like this, it goes around the GoPro, and then the strap goes through here and underneath here, and then it's protected. Almost done. And where's the rest of my bolts? Yeah, I know we had some rolling around here. Alright. But, let me just get some out of my frame deal here. Frame. Where are my hooks? Oh, here they are. Okay. Screw. It's all off. Okay, cut that in. And now we just need one more screw that I'm not being able to find because I misplaced all my screws. Give me a second here. There they are. Got it. All right. So that is pretty much done. I'm pretty much going to put a battery pad on the back. That's how it looks. I'm probably going to tuck some more wires around and whatnot. But yeah, pretty good. You can imagine it with the GoPro on it. But yeah. So it's looking good. So let's go ahead and get to the Maiden. That'll be the next video with this quad. See how it flies. If you want to know how to program it, it's going to be exactly the same as my Chameleon TI. So I'm going to leave a card up right now and leave it at the end of the video as well. So let's go ahead and get to the next video. It should come out in the next few days. I appreciate you guys watching. I know this is a really, really long video, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace.